Hi there guys, in this one it's just going to be about this gorgeous snowflake decoration, so we're just going to jump straight in with this one. You can use any yarn and hook that you want to. I'm going to be using the silver again, and we're going to start with the slipknot, and as always go and check out my absolute beginner series if you're not sure how to do that. So to start with, we're going to do a chain of 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You're then going to insert your hook into that very first chain next to your slip knot, and you're going to slip stitch. So you're going to yarn over and pull through both of the loops on your hook, and that will give us a little centre circle to work our stitches into. So now we're going to chain 3, so 1, 2 and 3, and that is going to count as our first treble crochet. Now remember, I am working in UK terms, so in the US this would be your double crochet. We want to do now a total of 12 treble crochets, and that will include this chain 3, so you want to do 11 more trebles into that centre circle. So you're going to yarn over, insert into that centre circle, yarn over and pull up. You've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2 and yarn over, pull through the last 2. So that is now 2 treble crochets. So again, yarn over and insert, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And you're going to do that until you have a total of 12 treble crochets, including that chain 3 at the beginning. So if you want to do that, and I will join you just as you do your 12th one. So I've just done my final treble crochet, and we're now going to join this to where we started from, and that chain 3 at the beginning, you want to find your 3rd chain, so 1, 2, and that is my 3rd one. So I'm going to insert my hook into there and slip stitch, so yarn over and pull through both loops. And so that is our starting point for our snowflake. So now what we want to do are V stitches, so we're going to chain 3, and that will count as our first treble, but then we're going to add 1 more chain, which would be our chain 1. So we've got a chain 3, a chain 1, and then back into where we've just come up from, right here at the very base, just here, we're going to do a treble crochet. So yarn over, insert into the base of that stitch and do your treble. So that is our first V stitch, and that will count as coming out of the top of that treble here from the last round. And then you want to separate with a chain 2, and then we're going to skip 1. So we've worked out of the top of this treble here, so we're going to skip over the top of this next treble, which would be that one here, and we're going to go into the next one, which is just here. So you want to yarn over, insert after you've skipped 1 and do a treble, chain 1, and then back into that very same space that you've just done your last treble, you're going to do another treble. So again, that is your next V stitch, and you're going to chain 2, skip 1, so we're going to skip this one here and work into the next one along, and do another V stitch, so a treble, a chain 1 and another treble, all into that same space, chain 2, again skip 1 and then V stitch into the next, chain 1, treble, chain 2, and you're going to work that all the way around until you've got 6 V stitches separated by a chain 2. So I'll meet you there in just a second. So I've got my 6 V stitches now, and I've just done my last chain 2 to separate, and we're going to skip over this chain here. And remember, it might look like you've got another chain just there, but you haven't. That's where the start of our last V stitch was from. So you should just have 1 chain, and then the one next to it you should be able to see the chain 3 coming out from it. So again, you're going to find the 3rd chain, but remember we did 4 at the beginning of this round, so make sure you don't go into that 4th one. You want to go 1, 2, and then that is your 3rd. So insert into that third stitch and do a slip stitch to complete that round. And what we're going to do now is work lots of stitches into our V stitches and then a picot into our chain 2 space. So to start this one off, we're going to be working into this very first V stitch here, and you're going to insert your hook into that V stitch, into where the chain 1 is, and you're going to do a double crochet. So you're going to yarn over and pull up, and you'll have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both. So remember, that's UK double, US single. You then into this same space, you're going to do a half treble, so yarn over, insert back into that V stitch space, yarn over and pull up, and you'll have 3 loops, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through all 3, and then a treble, so yarn over, insert back into that space and do your treble, and then we're going to chain 3, 2, 3, and then we're going to mirror that back down the other side, all back into that same V stitch again. So treble, and then a half treble. So remember, you yarn over and pull through all 3 loops in one go, and then a double. So that is all of our stitches worked into our V stitch. We're then going to slip stitch into that chain 2 space, so yarn over and pull through that loop. We're going to do a picot, so you want to chain 3, and then you're going to insert your hook into the very first chain, and when you do that, try and make sure that you get 2 loops on your hook here. It just makes it a little more secure, and then again you're going to slip stitch, so yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook, but that can be a little bit fiddly. And then you're going to go back into that chain 2 space, and you're going to slip stitch again to pull that picot down, so yarn over and pull through. And then we are back to a V again, so you want to insert your hook into that chain 1 space in your V and do a double, and then a half treble and pull through all 3, and then a normal treble and chain 3, and again we're going to mirror it back down, so treble all into that same space, a half treble and a double. And again, now you're going to slip stitch into your chain 2 space, and then we're going to do our picot, so chain 3, and again insert your hook back into that very first chain and try and get 2 loops on your hook if you can, and slip stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch straight back into that chain 2 space again, and then we're back to a V stitch again. So if you want to pause or rewind here and just continue doing all of your stitches into your V stitch and then your picot into your chain 2 space, and then I will meet you when you get back towards the other end. So I've just completed my last picot, and I've slip stitched my picot as normal, and now we're going to start our final round for this snowflake. So to start off with, you want to go to the top, or near to the top of your picot, so you can see that last picot that we've just done just here, and you want to insert your hook just somewhere near the top of that picot, and then again you're just going to slip stitch to the top. So you're just going to yarn over and pull through all of them, and from here we're going to chain 4, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then you're going to move across into your chain 3 space here. And so that chain 3 space, you've got 1 chain, 2 and 3 all at the top here, and you want to insert your hook through the top chain, so in that chain 3 it will be your middle chain here, and you're going to insert your hook through the top of that chain, so making sure you've got the V just here, and then you're going to slip stitch, and then we're going to create a picot here as well. So you go, just as before, you're going to chain 3, and then we are going to insert our hook back into that 3rd chain where we've just come up from and do a slip stitch, and that will create our picot. We're then going to chain 4 and move down to this picot here, and you're just going to insert your hook somewhere near the top of that picot. You don't have to be exact, but somewhere near the top, and slip stitch. And then again you're going to chain 4, and we're going to go into the center chain. So you've got your 3 chains at the top, and you're going to go into the middle one, and you're going to slip stitch, and then again we're going to create a picot. So chain 3 and then go back into that chain that we've just come up from and slip stitch, and chain 4, and then again we're going to move down to the picot in between, and we're going to slip stitch into the top, or somewhere near the top. So again you're just going to insert your hook somewhere near the top of that picot and slip stitch, two, 3 and 4, and again into that chain 3 space you're going to find the center chain and insert your hook and slip stitch, and then picot, and you're just going to continue that all the way around. So if you want to do that, and then I will meet you when you get back towards where we started from. So I've just done my last picot at the top here, and now I am back where I started from. So I've done my chain of 4, and then I'm just going to go down into that picot from earlier on. Oops. And I'm going to slip stitch, and then I'm just going to do a quick chain 1 and snip off, pull that out, and then I just need to sew in this tail end, or you could even tie it back on and leave it as a loop to hang your snowflake by. But if you're not sure how to tie in, then just nip and check out my beginner video. But that is it for this lovely little snowflake. It would make really beautiful tree decorations. Like I say, you just need to attach a little loop, or you could use them as little coasters even. You could literally use them for anything, but I really hope that you've enjoyed this one. It is one of my favourites. But that's it for this one, guys. Please remember to subscribe and give me a quick thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and always check out my description box and tag me on any posts in Instagram of things that you make using my tutorials. But that's it for another Christmas episode, and I will see you again very soon, guys. Thanks.